how do you see the immediate and the short-term future of basketball training in Philadelphia and event management business? When you were really early on in the training thing, there weren't a lot of trainers, Pooh. It weren't. Now it's a lot of trainers out here. Do you think the market is saturated? Do you have too many guys? Is it the right amount? I mean, anybody can help somebody, I guess. And what about event management? Because you guys have really become the center of a lot of basketball events, man, in terms of camps, showcases, New York, Philly, this, that. Even look, I got my man stuff on today. Y'all got my man in the house. I mean, you guys are really the epicenter of urban basketball in Philadelphia. How do you see the event management component of your business playing out over the next few years? So we got two businesses, the training and the event management. What's your take on both in Philly?
A lot of guys that may have played professionally or may have not have played professionally, they pick up a ball and they feel like, they can train. This training thing, man, when you really take it serious, it's a craft that not everyone can do. You can take somebody in the gym, man, and make them sweat, and they haven't gained an ounce to their game. Mm-hmm. You had them in there working hard and sweating, but the development is not there. And there is an oversaturation in the training market in Philadelphia. And I do believe that is partly to blame for the underdevelopment of a lot of talent, because the talent come and they're very talented, but if you can't add to them, you have to be, you should be respectful enough to the craft to say, I've taken this kid as far as I can go with him. Let me pass him on to somebody who knows a little bit more than me.
Well, let me ask you a question then. So what are the barriers to that kind of cooperation? Because I really, really deeply agree with what you say. I respect people's lanes, their areas of expertise and all of that. I've never rebounded for a kid in my life. I ain't got no desire to get out there and show a kid how to do in and outs. Nothing. It's just not me. So I would bring them to somebody else. You're describing a situation where it seems like people are reluctant to pass off for whatever reason. So how do we make that better? What's the source of that reluctance?
So the source of that, man, to me is simple, man. I'm not your competition. I want to collaborate, because if we get together and we collaborate and we producing the kind of players out of this area, everyone is going to capitalize on every level. I think a lot of the times in our area, a lot of times we have a promising young talent, and we try to go for the gusto too early. Like it takes time to develop that kid. And just because somebody wants to come along and say, hey, listen, you got that kid over there, let's talk. You got to have an understanding to know that, we have a long way to go if you trying to reach the ultimate level. Some people don't want to reach that level. And the reason it being is because they don't remove themselves. The people surrounding the talent, the handlers or whatever you want to call them, they don't do a good job of removing themselves. They make it about them too much. Mm-hmm. Like you gotta want for that kid and that kid's family So you have to put them before you. And that's the reason why it's a lot more competition than collaboration. If we can collaborate, and I don't mean to say pass them off and then you're done. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, let's all get in the gym together, because I try not to use that word, but I have standards when it comes to how I deal with certain situations. And one of those situations is, if I'm the smartest guy in my circle, I need a new circle. I have to have people around me that can bring something to the table. And the collaboration will only broaden. It will broaden the basketball scope, because now what one person doesn't know, another one in your circle will. Because I believe there's safety in a multitude of counsel. So if you got a council that everyone has their own lane, everyone respects each other's opinion and they respect what they do, I think we can thrive in this area. But until the people that's around the talent remove themselves, we're going to always be looked at as there's not enough talent here for me, for a corporation or for the real businesses to come in here and put their resources behind Philadelphia basketball.
You raise some really fascinating points. And I think at the core of what you're saying is that this whole effort, this whole enterprise that we're all collectively engaged in can be grown, and therefore everyone can benefit from the growth if we can get past our immediate short-term, whatever, preferences, biases, and all of that. And I think what you're saying is that as you see it now, it's almost like a zero-sum game, like somebody baked a pie, and it's only that pie. And if you get a piece, I can't have a piece. We can't grow the pie. We can't make more new pies. You know, it's just this pie. So I got to keep you out of the pie so I can have more than a pie. Absolutely. Really two totally different ways of looking at it. I really appreciate that insight for you. Any suggestions on how to get people to go from the pie perspective to looking at it from the growth perspective?
Yeah, first of all, we have to sit down as Black men. We have to sit down, or as men, period. I don't want to alienate anybody, but we have to sit down as men, period. And to a man, like I spoke on with that council, you know, I'm a Wire fan. I like The Wire. I love The Wire, you know what I mean? And when everyone wanted to get together, they said, we need a co-op. And the co-op just sat down and made sure that everyone was on the same page for the ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. What we need to do is the who's. And I would be glad to sit at this table, man, because I feel that we're shortchanging ourselves because we're chasing the short-term goal. I feel like if we had a co-op type of sit down with just some people, man, that have some influence, with some people that have some understanding of what we need to get done and are really trying to get it done, I believe then that's how we start. That's where the beginning can be had, to a man where I can tell you, yo, I don't want what you got. I want to grow what you got, and I want to grow what I got. Mm-hmm. And if we can grow together and everybody can eat, now it's no more, it's not as much as a competitive nature. You know what I mean? Because in some levels, the competitive nature is great. But when it caused the segregation is when you going backwards. You know, for instance, like I have it in mind to have a bunch of guys that may train some guys. Man, if you got the elite guys, every week, at least 2 times a week, we all need to be in the gym training them together. Mm-hmm. We all need to be in the gym having them play against each other, because iron sharpens iron. And if you want to know why the DMV is where they are, this is what they do, because they understand. They understand the ultimate goal. The DMV is running things right now because that's what they do. They put aside whatever differences they got. Everybody get in the gym. They work together, iron sharpen iron, and then the products, they come out and they place them all over the country. And now people can look down in the DMV and say, hey, you guys did that? All right, you have a great mind. Let me put you on my coaching staff. You have great relationships. We need you over here.
Troy Weaver is the general manager of the Detroit Pistons. Troy Weaver. Yes.
Exactly.
Young brother, all the way to the top.
Exactly, because they understand and they are removing themselves for the bigger goal. Because now once the product goes out, the top people want to know who the people that's responsible for that. We need you up here with us. We need you to come up here. And we'll never get there if we continue to do it the way we're doing it.